Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here is Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and I'm back after a few days off. So when I've been moving, dollar took the hit, I took the hit as well. That's a little bit more later on. New form. Hopefully you are going to like it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look what we have on the agenda today. Let's start right here, right now. So our agenda today, different way. Sometimes you have to change something, right? So when I've been moving last week and dollar took the hit, I took the hit as well. Well, that's happened from time to time. Anyway, what's on the table? Yesterday, PMI, China PMI. Congratulations. 55, well, much higher than what the market was expecting anyway. EU, UK, recovering, green numbers compared to the expectations, but still very, very low. US, not that bad, depends who is in charge when it comes to this data. Cool. GDP, Australian, Switzerland, especially Switzerland, much lower than what market was expecting, minus 2.6 versus minus 2 was expected. USADP, another great number. Everything, guys, everything is fine. Minus 2.8 almost versus minus 9 million expectations. Maybe protesters in US were not included in that number, joke. Bank of Canada, no change, all is good. So USDCAD tested very important support level. That's what we are going to check. As you can see, plenty of things to discuss this morning. What's the risk events? European Central Bank, ECB, Lagarde, euro dollar testing or retesting, yearly open, very important thing. All right. Weekly jobless claims. Well, if you are going to take into the consideration yesterday ADP, so weekly jobless claims, be careful, it could be surprise to the upside. And tomorrow, of course, guys, non-farm payrolls, right? So if everything is so great, why Fed is doing repo still? Well, that's the very good question. Hopefully one day we are going to find the answer. All right, so without further delay, let's get back to the charts. Okay, so it's time to start. Hopefully you like the agenda. It's time to start, and it's time to start with euro dollar. First thing first, if you remember, guys, we were discussing the range between 107.50 110, right? So 250 pips range. We've seen the break to the upside, and yesterday we hit the target, right? 250 range, break above 110, 1250, and almost to the point yesterday. What is important? Important is yesterday close, in my opinion. And why? Because we took few stops and we start to take profit when it comes to the euro dollar. That's what I'm talking about. We took those stops, all right, upper shadow, but the close below that high. So since then, market is pulling back from the day open. Testing right now, first support around the figure 112, right? That's the Tuesday high. That's important. And we are flirting, as you can see, red dotted line, we are flirting with the yearly open here. So we hit very significant level, right? Taking into the consideration that as I mentioned during the agenda, that Fed is doing still repo. I think word is dollar shortage. So I'm still dollar positive, to be honest with you. Of course, we've got two risk events, as I mentioned. It's ECB and non-farm payrolls. Well, you know, from the conservative perspective, would be great to wait to see daily close below 1150, 1145, right? That would be conservative, but I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive towards the ECB or around the ECB weekly jobless claims, maybe option expiration. I want to see retest of the daily open, and I wanna see the price action around this level here, right around the daily open. So levels close to 1230, 1240, and we will see. It's quite strong level here, and I do expect some supply around these levels, right? Again, first possible demand 112 testing right now, another one 1150, right? That might be levels for ECB. Breaking below 1150, probably we are going to retest 110, right? In case of breaking and moving higher, we have a very significant level around 1344 based on the weekly chart, all right, and it's also visible here from the daily, weekly and daily, quite important 1340. Above that, it's 114. That's how I see the euro dollar from the higher time frame perspective. Let's have a look what we have on the smaller time frame. On the hourly chart, we are testing, as I mentioned, 112, and it's also visible intraday possible demand zone around this level, and that's what we are testing right here, right now. Then, as I mentioned, 1150. That's the top of that previous consolidation ahead of this break to the upside. So those two quite important levels, right? When it comes to the supply, as I mentioned, levels close to the daily open 1230, 1240, and with this failure around these levels also visible on the 1 hour chart. So, well, we will see if the Lagarde can deliver as Draghi did. If we would have still drag in place, that would be probably short in place already. Anyway, but I like euro with different currency. I like euro versus Australian dollar, meaning that as a homework, your homework might be worth to check Australian dollar versus US dollar as well, right? If I do expect lower levels on the euro dollar, maybe out USD is worth to do the homework as well. Anyway, I like euro Aussie higher from here, right? Meaning that somewhere in the back of my head I have the plan that market may switch from the risk on to risk off. We will see. Why I like all euro Aussie dollar here, stop count, as you can see, when it comes to the attempt to break below certain levels. Nice reversal yesterday, trying to hold this level. So market may want to try to make swing low, right? So I'm going to wait and see if we can retest today's low, right? That would be swing retest of the possible swing low creation. That would be the perfect entry from my perspective. So let's have a look what could be the potential higher. I think towards 65, right? And then towards 65, 70. All right, so two nearest targets when it comes to the euro dollar. Let's switch lower. Let's have a look if there is a possibility for quite good entry. Well, would be great to see 1-to-1 pullback like this, so meaning some stop hunt based on this late afternoon yesterday low, right? So stop hunt like this, and from here, meaning that I'm looking for levels below 160, 160. Well, we are trading 100 pips higher right now, and one can argue, well, come on, not sure if we can get If we can get that low, well, there is a chance during or around ECB or Lagarde press conference that we are going to see that levels. So the Australian dollar, based on the, as I mentioned, weakest GDP reading for years, I'm looking to sell Australian dollar as well. There was another weak GDP reading yesterday. It was related to the Switzerland. So I like USD Swiss franc from the intraday perspective, based on quite strong support when it comes to the 96, right? So there was a stop count, right, around the London Open. Market is trying to go higher. I'm going to switch lower. I'm going to monitor on the lower time frame, and if we are going to see the retest of 96.10, all right, 96.10, probably I'm going to try to take the advantage with the stops below 96. So based on the weak Swiss franc Switzerland GDP, I'm sorry guys. And then yesterday we had Bank of Canada, all right, and here also I like dollar because of where we are. I would like to see, but here I'm going to be for now on a wait and see mode. I want to see the daily close above 35.20, right? So without the shadows, that's gonna be some kind of the engulf compared to what we've seen yesterday. For the conservative approach, I would like to see the daily close above 35.70, right? What could be the target? 37.40, the first one. So the move to the downside, consolidation, continuation, right? So the this base, and then eventually levels close to 140 again. But 37.40 conservative level for now when it comes to the USDCAD. So let's have a look what we have lower, right? Market is trying to make very nice round bottom here, okay. So we will see. Again, for me, it's going to be important where we are towards the end of the day. So the new form, I've been moving for the last few days. So that was my few days off. Dollar took the hit. I took the hit. Risk on sentiment. When it comes to the indices, well, I'm not doing well there as well. So medium term strategies didn't work out lately. Intraday are working, so I'm going to get back and I'm going to, after those few days off, I'm going to monitor the market, and let's see if the risk on sentiment will prevail or we are going to switch to risk off. Anyway guys, be careful with central bankers manipulations around. Don't be trapped during the London session, and see you around. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.